My homage to the Buddha. In this video, I would like to bring you the doctrines which contains in Pottapadasutta. The doctrines that contains in Pottapadasutta are sannavedayitha nirodha and the well popular 10 metaphysical questions of the time of the Buddha and the three existence, kama, bhava, rupa bhava and arupa bhava. Pottapadasutta was preached by the Buddha when he was living at Jetavanaramaya in Sravasti. Pottapada was an ascetic. He lived at Mallikarama, which was nearby Jetavanaramaya. However, there was familiarity or intimacy between the Buddha and ascetic Pottapada. One day, the Buddha visited Pottapada. Pottapada began to discuss with the Buddha the doctrines that they were discussing at Mallikarama with ascetics from different schools. There were about 3,000 ascetics who had gathered to Mallikarama to discuss the doctrines. They were different from schools. They discussed about this doctrine sannavedayitha nirodha. Pottapada said in the presence of the Buddha, some ascetics, they said that sannavedayitha nirodha happens without any cause, any reason, any conditions. Others opposed them and they said, perception is soul, so soul inserts into the body of the person, then the person becomes consciousness. When the soul gets out of the body, the person becomes unconscious. Some ascetics, they opposed that idea and they said, a powerful Brahman ascetic, he inserts perceptions into the body of the person, then only the person makes conscious. Then when that powerful Brahmin ascetic draws perception out of the body, the person becomes unconscious. Other ascetics, they oppose that idea and they said, a powerful God is there to insert perceptions to make the person conscious, and he draws out of the body of the persons and persons becomes unconscious. Those are the views that the ascetics presented about sannavedayitha nirodha. Pottapada said, when they were presenting their views, I felt that the Buddha is very skillful. Buddha experience well is sannavedayitha nirodha. We can know more about the Buddha, about sannavedayitha nirodha. Then the Buddha began to explain about sannavedayitha nirodha. Sannavedayitha nirodha is the state when the persons attain into the samapatti. When the person develops his samatha meditations and also the vipassana meditations, especially the anagami persons and the arihat persons, they can attain this samapatti sannavedayitha nirodha. By attaining to this sannavedayitha nirodha, the person experiences the state of nibbana. He determined to cease his consciousness and mental factors for certain time. Within that certain time, mind and mental factors do not work of the person. He does not take objects outside. He appears to be a dead person. He does not breathe when he is in that samapatti. He does not breathe. In that way, the Buddha explained them, sannavedayitha nirodha is the persons that attained samapatti after developing samatha bhavana and vipassana bhavana. The experiences and they feel happiness of Nibbana within this life. That is sannavedayitha nirodha. Then Pottapada asked several questions about sannavedayitha nirodha. Sanna, the perceptions, contributes in sannavedayitha nirodha. So the Pottapada says, perception is soul. The soul is formed with 4 elements. It takes foods, it feels, it takes objects outside into his mind. That is the soul. Buddha asked to describe the soul that he intended. Pottapada described the soul as formed of 4 elements. Is Patavi, Apo, Tejo, Vayu. Solidity, liquidity, heat and air. Then Pottapada explained further about a soul. He explained soul is like a mental body. The soul is like immaterial body. In that way, Pottapada explained the soul that he intended, that contribute in sannavedayitha nirodha. Then the Buddha said, perceptions that contributes in sannavedayitha nirodha is not soul. Buddha explained, it is when the person attained to samapatti, the perceptions is there, it has been ceased, extincted. When the person rises from samapatti, he gradually comes to the dhyana, 4th dhyana, 3rd, 2nd and 1st. In that way, then he becomes the normal person. The difference between dead body and the person who attained to sannavedayitha nirodha is dead body does not have strength. Dead body does not have heat. Dead body does not breathe. Dead body does not feel. The person who has attained to sannavedayitha nirodha, he also does not breathe. He also does not feel, but he has strength of temperature, heat in his body. When the time comes, he gradually rises from sannavedayitha nirodha, and he rises his perceptions and becomes the normal person after experiencing certain times that he had determined. That was the sannavedayitha nirodha, Buddha explained. Then the Buddha presented his views about the 10 metaphysical questions which were highly discussed among the schools of the time of the Buddha. One of those metaphysical questions is whether the universal is finite, whether the universal is eternal, is it the same thing, consciousness and the body? Those were 3 of the 10 metaphysical questions. Buddha did not answer those questions. Buddha kept them as unanswered questions. Pottapada asked why the Buddha didn't answer those 10 metaphysical questions. Buddha said they were useless in understanding the Four Noble Truths. Finding out the end of the universe to consume a lot of time to find out whether there is end of this universe. It takes only time. It was useless thing. It does not give any advantage to understand the reality of the being and his environment. Especially, it does not contribute in understanding Four Noble Truths: unsatisfactory, the cause of unsatisfactory, cessation of unsatisfactory, and the way towards the cessation of unsatisfactory. Then the Buddha explained the functions of the consciousness in three existence of the being. There are three existence: Kama bhava, Rupa bhava, Arupa bhava. In one sense, Buddha has pointed out there are 31 worlds which belong to these Kama bhava, Rupa bhava, Arupa bhava. You know, when the being is born, his consciousness play a greater part of the birth of the person. Consciousness. Any being contains three forms of consciousness. One form of consciousness is able to be born as a being in a sense sphere world, like heavens and the human worlds. And other form of consciousness is capable of giving birth to the being in fine material sphere world. Then the Buddha explained the other form of consciousness of the being is the consciousness that is capable of giving birth to the being in the immaterial sphere worlds. So every being in this samsara, they all contain these three forms of consciousness. When they are born in sense sphere world, the consciousness that relevant to those words becomes active. Other two forms of consciousness become inactive. You know, some mendicants, they practice meditation. After practicing samatha bhavana, they attain to jhana, absorption, first jhana, vitakka, vichara, piti, sukha, ekaggata. In that way, they attain to absorptions. To attain those absorption, they have to make active their consciousness that is to be born in fine material sphere worlds or immaterial sphere worlds. That's why the mendicants who have attained these four jhanas, when they die with these four jhanas, their consciousness is active and he is born in Brahmaloka. That is the functions of consciousness of the person. These functions of consciousness of the being can be explained in the light of Lamarck evolutionary theory called acquired inheritance of acquired characteristics. Much merit those who have listened to my Dhamma speak. Thank you very much.